this topic is also by my friend. So he found like I was discussing with him, and we both managed to find a way on how to like actually do the Pongo feeder integration without compromising too much. So 386, it's no longer gonna call here or here. It's just gonna do this. Oops. Because the most important part is to keep the Oasis Terraces, Oasis LRT connection. Okay, I think I better draw this properly. Yep, like this. And then in compensation, 83, I'm going to amend it. Edgedale, Pongo North Avenue, Edgefield, and then go to Pongo. I'm not touching service tree because service tree is already as windy as it is, so I'm just giving more use for 83 without really compromising its purpose, you know. And I'm still going to do this. The straight going one, I'll make it 84. And then the windy one, I'll make it 382. Why this is important is because I am changing 84's route profile. So it is no longer going to be green and white plate. And the reason for that is because I've already extended 43M, which is like 104, up this corridor. So that is already covered. So this new 84, like I said, I'm not going to make it troll like this because the trolling is going to be done by 382 instead, like green and white plate. What I'm going to do is just send it direct like this. And then it's gonna do this for both directions up to here. And then I'm gonna be restoring 386 broken links. So here, down, Oasis, Cadalure, and then looping like this. So essentially, I am giving this area, Pongo East, access to here, and then to here. I'm giving them direct access. So on this zoomed in map, this 84, which no longer has a G or W, would be like this. And yeah, this is, as I've explained, 83. So by doing this, I'm not breaking any of 386's links. I mean, the only people that will be compromised are like the people around here, which is at this bus stop. But you can just take 386 and then transfer at these bus stops to this new 83. Because when you look at it macro scale, it actually looks kind of decent. And obviously the feeder services, the 38 somethings, I just replace them with F so that it's like easier to see. Because of this, like every single, you could say, nook and cranny has been covered in Pongo. Okay, but you might be asking, why did I send 171 to Pongo Coast and not to Pongo Central? The reason why I say this is because if you just take a look at this, it is completely impractical to put like a CRL extension or CPL, if that's how you would say it. It is completely impractical to put a station like around this area or this area because it's just gonna turn into another downtown line, east-west line, Tampines situation, which is not good. And the only way you're ever gonna accommodate such a station is if this building gets demolished. And obviously it's not gonna demolish. So because of this, there is just no reason to put an MRT station here. So what you do is you make 171 go to Punggol. You don't make it go Yishun anymore. You make people board at this stop instead and just let it cut through. So as I've said before, it's via Yishun Avenue 11, then to Seletar North Link, and then to Punggol Coast. Okay, because from here to here, this is like, the proposed CRLE extension. CRL extension. So because you already have MRT doing this connection, the bus would do this connection instead. And this is basically not duplicating the MRT. So the MRT will be along the main corridor, and the role of the bus is to basically connect the areas that is inaccessible via MRT, or like how do you say it? It's like less accessible, difficult to access just via MRT alone. So in this case, as I've mentioned earlier, it's like the bus is supposed to touch all the areas that are difficult to reach via the MRT. So I've talked about like main corridor, and this is basically every single other area that's like within the neighborhood that's like not really served by MRT, LRT, or anything. I'm using bus to do the connections. So you can think of it as like main corridor, and then this one is like another corridor. Not the main one, but it's like a complementary one in this case. Cause like Cross Island Line, there are provisions to extend it to 8 cars, but currently they're not doing that. They're just gonna run 6 cars, but 6 cars is going to be, it's like it takes more passengers, right? So you push the MRT on the main corridor, and these other hard to reach areas you use bus to do the connections, if that makes sense. It's not about MRT being better than bus or anything. It's just like, how do you prioritize them? Like, do you make one bus go from Yishun to Punggol Central when there's already like 117 outside? You don't. And then what if it's like Yishun East to Punggol Coast? I've talked about 967 before, but I already pushed 967 to Yishun because I've already talked about that in like previous videos about why letting 967 run from Yishun East to Punggol Coast might not be helpful since there's already like 171. I've already talked about that. So yeah, that's basically how we determined that the main corridor should be reserved for CRL, and every other thing should be covered by 171 to Punggol. 171 is not extending to Punggol in reality. This is just like a suggestion. Because 171 is only extending to Tengah. That's it. And yes, I have considered like using the BCEP Tampines North to Punggol service. There is gonna be a new bus service, but the reason why I didn't really go ahead with it is because if you make the BCEP do something like this, people are gonna like be complaining about why this BCEP that's supposed to connect between Tampines North and Punggol is not like direct enough. Why is it so windy for no reason? So that's why I was like, okay, let's use 84 to do it instead.